Hello, H barbarians. Welcome back to H bar's realm. Folks, look at this. Hedera Hashgraph is being applied to deliver real world business value, says Jindal Ankur, VP and Head of Corporate Innovation and Emerging Technologies. We're talking about Tata Communications, folks. I would like to add one insight over here. People oftentimes said that the governing council is not adopting Hedera as a technology. And now look at this. Now everything is changing. The governing council is deeply interested in Hedera's tech. Now let's check this out.
Yeah, so I think we have obviously worked very closely with the Hashgraph and the Hedera team to see how we can leverage DLT, given its tenets of trust and provenance and immutability. I think the right technology for this kind of problem, right? A distributed ledger would replace a siloed system, right? So hence, they will be shared immutable records of each transaction, and hence it will provide single source of truth. So that's number one benefit of having a DLT, where you can not only have a single source, but we can have proper provenance to those records, right? Now this happens in multiple ways. Now DLT using smart contracts, you can now automate workflows, right, between operators that typically are involved in this kind of process. And this is all based on immutable storage of contract terms, reference documents. So these are easily referenceable because they are on blockchain and they are powered by smart contracts. Next, consensus-based validation. Now every invoice is now stamped and validated against agreed rates and consumption volumes. Whatever operators are agreeing is not manual, it's not on the system, and it's all on the distributed ledger. So this has a potential to resolve disputes by up to 90%. So typically, if they are being resolved on the blockchain, there will be less disputes, right? So that's number two. Number three, human intervention is not needed anymore, because now this can be done on the system, and the resolution can be avoided. It will speed up the resolution, speed up the invoicing. The week of research, back and forth, emails that happen between carriers will be eliminated, right? And everything will be as per contract terms, which are recorded, right? Not manual. Um, and two more things. One, I think reduce working capital lock-in, because since the cycle times for settlement are 30 days plus, it can potentially free up a few $100 million in liquidity for a tier one carrier, for example, right? So you can clearly see that DLT has a clear role, and I think the fact that Hedera is a next generation DLT with very high throughput, you're talking of 10,000 plus transactions per second, um, and very low predictable transaction costs. I think this makes it suitable for millions and billions of micro settlement that need to happen between carriers on a daily basis. So that's how I think we are looking at it. I think it's a right technology for the right problem.
Awesome, folks. Awesome. This is one of the best times to be an H bar maxi, folks, despite the price action. The hype coins, the meme coins, folks, their time is done. We want real utility. We want a project that provides us real world value, and Hedera is bringing that to the game. Look at this, folks, with all that is coming in terms of enterprise adoption, in terms of what HBAR is providing. If you believe XRP can hit $50 trillion plus market cap, people are saying that, yeah, it has the potential to go there. Then HBAR at $1 trillion isn't crazy, folks. I agree to this. We're talking about scarcity. We're talking about real world utility. We're talking about disrupting and moving various segments and sectors, folks, and real institutional demand, folks. That is what HBAR is. Look at this. The only DLT featuring fixed gas fees in USD is Hedera. No matter how much you send, no matter how congested the network is, although there are a lot of different projects that claim this, but folks, Hedera is the one that is being tested by institutions, that is being tested by enterprises to be the one of the best assets out there, one of the best techs out there. Look at this. This is really a great post. You have to check this one out from Marco. A bit huge, but you have to check this one out. In a nutshell, why Hedera keeps showing up in the machine economy, from satellites to humanoids. In a nutshell, folks, Hedera is not only confined to a small segment, be it cross-border payments, be it AI. It is everywhere, folks. Be it gaming, be it machine economy, be it real-world assets, be it tokenization, you name it, folks. Hedera is everywhere, folks, and this is where it shines, basically, folks. And this is why, powered by Hedera, narratives keep emerging around machine economy concepts like seal coin old. If the ecosystem wants autonomous settlement plus integrity by default, the chain becomes the evidence layer, folks. Hedera keeps showing up here. The reason is, in a nutshell, because the future isn't just AI. It is AI plus compliance plus verifiable execution, and machines need rails that can prove what happened. And this is where Hedera shines, folks. It is working not only on AI, it is working on compliance, it is working on verifiable execution and solutions, folks. And we're talking about ethical AI these days, folks. And if an AI is not compliant enough, obviously institutions would be skeptical to use it. Satellites, humanoids, proof layer. Hedera is everywhere, folks. The altcoin market is about to break. Hype coins will crash fast, and 98% will never recover. So, believing in a real utility network like Hedera doesn't hurt, folks. This is Tokenizer. The H-bar involvement in IIFs is getting real, folks. Recently, we saw Hedera's VP of Global Policy, Isadora Arredondo, selected to the IIF Future Leaders Group. Now, Hashgraph CEO Eric Piscini talking alongside CEO of the Nasdaq in an IIF discussion. This is awesome, folks. This is awesome. We're talking about two financial giants that are directly and casually are tied to Hedera through the governance council, folks. This is huge in my opinion, and we're not even done yet, folks. You do not want to forget about the work of Aberdeen, which has done for tokenization on Hedera via their Archax investment. Folks, I saw a post on tokenization. I wanted to share that with you guys. Just a moment. I think, yeah, I think this was it. Yeah, this was it. Yeah, look at this. This is Larry Fink, folks. We're talking about tokenization, how it can truly change the game, and Hedera is one of those networks that has potential to be that single common blockchain, folks. We must move more rapidly with crypto tokenization on a single common blockchain. Even though, folks, there can be multiple good projects that can win in this space, the utility space. Hedera is going to be one of them, the highest pedestals, folks, the epitome of finance.
I think the movement towards tokenization, decimalization is necessary. It's ironic that we see two emerging countries leading the world in in the tokenization and digitization of their currency. That's Brazil and India. I think we need to move very rapidly to doing that. We would be reducing fees. We would do more democratization by reducing more fees if we had all investments on a tokenized platform that you could move from a tokenized money market fund to equities and bonds and back and forth. We have one common blockchain. We can reduce corruption. So I would argue that yes, we have more dependencies on maybe one blockchain, which we could all talk about. But that being said, the activities are probably processed and more secure than ever.
Guys, tokenization will not only change the game for crypto, but finance as a whole. The reason is that the entire market, folks, it has become so much illiquid. We need liquidity. We need to basically transcend borders. If someone is living in, let's say, Japan, they should easily be able to buy a property in a USA, in New York, wherever they want, and vice versa, folks. And this is where tokenization comes into play, and bridge projects like Hedera. And
I
folks,
think the
whenever
movement towards tokenization.
yeah, And whenever we talk about Hedera, folks, we oftentimes forget the projects that are being built on top of it, like Dovu, folks. Look at this. Yesterday on the Hedera network, January 19th, 2026, this is a few days old, folks, but look at this. Dovu transactions amounted to 13.49% of the total HTS transactions on the Hedera mainnet. We shouldn't be ignoring these projects that are being built on top of Hedera. The DeFi of Hedera, it seems really strong, folks. Look at this. Dovu's $1.1 billion contract over the next 9 years racks in an estimated $30 million revenue per year for an already profitable company, folks. The team then converts a portion of their revenue into Dovu as a buyback, creating natural demand for the token. Obviously, if you buy it back, there's going to be natural demand for the token. And this is what we're talking about. Transparency, and auditability with Hedera. Utilizes Hedera for transparency and efficiency, low fees and fast, transparent transactions. Tokenizes environmental assets, folks. The Hedera ecosystem is growing, folks, and as far as the utility and partnerships of Hedera, they are unprecedented in the world of crypto. Dell releases Hedera-based EQTY Lab AI verifiable compute white paper, folks. Tokenization and LLM validation completed, according to Hedera Kimchi over here. Let me follow this account as well, obviously. Like-minded projects that we like. Hedera, benchmark design, production grade workloads, tested workload, text tokenization, test conditions, tokenization results, 0% performance impact, evaluated under large scale text processing and data pre-processing workloads. Huge, folks. This is great overall in the world of finance and technology, be it Dell, be it other projects, folks. Those who are trying to basically come up with real world utility solutions, they are doing really good. And Hedera, somewhere down the line, it's going to be a household name along with these wonderful projects as well, folks, because what Hedera is doing is great, folks. Look at this. The TradeFi floodgates just smashed open, and you know who's bridging TradeFi with blockchain. CEO of $6.6 trillion bank Sergio Armotti says, I believe that blockchain and that kind of technology is the future for the traditional banking business, and you will see a convergence of that. Big banks love real world assets, and you know who is providing real world asset solutions. Hedera Hbar.
I do believe that blockchain and that kind of technology is the future for the traditional banking business. So you will see a convergence of that. But we need to pay attention in making sure that at the end of the day, banks are leave out of trust, and people want to put their assets and their whatever assets they have in a trusted place. And I would say the new technology still needs to prove itself over the years, and particularly after quantum computing.
Sergio, I want to thank you for coming in and spending. How many years have we been having these conversations here in Davos?
At least 18.
A long time. So thank you. Appreciate it. Great to see you.
Thank you very much.
So, folks, what do you guys think about Hedera, the latest on Hedera, what is happening in the market? And, folks, if you want regular Hbar videos, do subscribe the channel and smash that notification icon. Until next time, peace.